Good morning, everyone. We're just setting up, so we're going live a couple of minutes early to make sure everything is working. I'm going to turn this way. The light's going to be ever so much better. Turn it that way. And wait a second. There we go. Except I can't see anything. What am I doing wrong? Okay. I've got to turn it this way. One of these days we're going to get this together. There we go. Hey, even okay. Yeah, so we're going to do this a little bit like that. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. And good morning, everyone. We're doing a quick live stream this morning. Jack has to get back to work, and I very soon, not tomorrow, but the next morning, I have to leave. So Jack has prepared all of these things that she's going to take with me. Do you want to bring your laptop over and just, we can answer, or maybe I can answer while you're doing, will there be a place for you to see it, or you want to set it here? Because this is an empty space. We just want to be able to answer questions just in case the live chat doesn't appear later. And I see it here. Robin is here. Charlie is here. Jack is here. Only here for about 10 minutes. Okay, and then after that, hopefully we'll have another moderator. I should have texted Priscilla. Priscilla? Yeah, but I didn't have time. So what we're doing today is she's always so generous with information and her goodies. I'm just lumping all of the wonderful things she makes and collects and creates into one umbrella called goodies. But she is, of course, going to send me on the road with a few things. Now, my car is absolutely packed. It's not packed yet. We have to pack it.
Sorry.
Is it a Monarch?
Yeah, a Monarch.
Fantastic. Now I can see it. Oh, that is beautiful. And that is a little bit bigger than the queen, right? Mm-hmm. The queen butterfly, is it called queen butterfly? Mm-hmm. The queen butterfly is similar color and similar markings, but it's not a monarch. At any rate, we're going to talk a little bit about kombucha today, because kombucha is something that Jack first really introduced me to about 3 years ago, I'd say. And if you're like me and I mean, older people lose a lot of that healthy gut bacteria. That's why we have so many gut issues as we get older. We can't digest all that stuff that we, the whole bags of cookies and chips that and raw onions and things that we ate when we were young. It's just not possible. We don't have all that healthy bacteria in our gut. So one of the great things about kombucha is it has that probiotic, right? Mm-hmm. That helps with digestion. And when I first came here, she was one of the trips that I came to visit her at Epic Yard Farm 1.0. She was giving a tour, and part of the tour was at the end she served kombucha to her guests. And what were those made out of? Those were so interesting.
I think we have one with passion fruit, one with roselle hibiscus, and then just a natural one. And I think there's an apple one and a pineapple one.
Oh, just amazing. And every time I have come now, she's always brewing up something, and we're always partaking in something. Now, you didn't have any this time. We actually purchased some that we got from the store.
I got into drinking June kombucha, which is using green tea and honey, which is a little more challenging to brew here in Arizona because of the temperature. It requires a little more monitoring and more moderate temperature than a regular kombucha will be. So I haven't gotten to brewing it, but we purchased the kombucha from a local brewer.
Jack asked, he's not old enough to drink, so does it have alcohol? No.
It has a very trace amount,
it does?
and only if you brew it for a long time. So I prefer drinking the younger kombucha, so there's very little to no alcohol in there.
You'll be fine, Jack, I'm pretty sure. Ask your mother. Don't take my word. Ask your mother. let's see, Rob is here, Christina is here, Robin Cho, Justine, Nancy, of course. Just wanted to acknowledge a few people, but we're going to get right to it. We're only going to be on here on a half an hour. She's got to get to work. She has clients that are on the East Coast that are wanting design materials. So basically, she's going to walk us through her process. She is going to be giving me, tell them how you're going to do this.
So I'm basically going to refresh my kombucha, refill the kombucha, my mother kombucha, and we'll separate a piece of the mother and give it to Kaye to take with her so she can start her own brew in Tennessee. So that's what we're showing here.
And this needs to stay at 70 to 80 degrees. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to worry about refrigeration. I just can't leave it in my car
when it's too
hot
or too cold.
But also, tell them about this cool top that
we recently got into
this cool top.
Wanting to do like vacuuming storage for mason jar, and
for
also, but this lid also allow for fermentation. So this lid comes with a pump that you can suck out all the air from the jar when you have the lid on. But it also has this little breathing thing that will, when the kombucha is releasing gas, it will come out through here, so you don't have the risk of the jar exploding on you when there's gas being produced.
Right.
So you don't have to burp it.
Yeah, Jack, I think it would be a natural thing for you to learn to do now, because Jack is he's very progressed in his gardening. Emmanuel is here from Ultimate Gardening. Okay, we're just going to continue. Let's see. And I said good morning to Rob McGowan. Okay, so what's the first step?
So
I'm going to turn the camera around to get myself off of here. Are you going to start separating this, and then after we do this, this is just going to be a very short presentation, and then after we do this, she's going to walk us through the other gifts that she is sending me off on my journey to take to my new home. And we also wanted to mention that kombucha isn't widely known everywhere. When I was just in Illinois, 2 months, September, I went into a very large grocery store, and I went to every department. I went to the produce department, I went to the juice department, and the cold juice department, the juice department that's not in the cold storage, and no one even knew what I was saying. I said, "Do you have kombucha?" And they didn't even recognize the word. So it hasn't really caught on here. However, we were curious this morning because I really started seeing it in my store in California at least between 5 and 10 years ago. I don't remember exactly. I just started noticing it. I didn't start really drinking it until I came here about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I started drinking it, and now I love it, and I feel like it really helps my digestion. But we looked it up this morning, and she found that kombucha was actually...
It was thought originated in the northeast or northwest China about 220 BC, and then it slowly made its way over to Russia, and it became a very stable drink in Russia for a long time, and then it made its way to the rest of the world.
Well, I mean, yeah, so it's been around a very, very long time, and I don't know where the word kombucha comes from because it was originally in Chinese. Did we even see the Chinese name? We saw the Russian name. We couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, we couldn't.
So we're not even going to try to butcher that. So if we have anybody from Russia watching, please, well, we can't hear how they say it, but anyway, I hope you'll enjoy this little presentation. She's going to show how she divides. This is also called scoby, right?
Yes.
Scoby is the mother. Is scoby the mother? Is also, I called it the mother. Is it the scoby?
Yeah. It's this. I call the scoby the mother for me because this is where I pulled all the scoby from. So.
And we also, if you're aware, there is a connection between apple cider vinegar and mother and the scoby and all that, right?
That whole fermentation process is similar, so that's why they're interchangeable. You can make apple cider vinegar using part of your kombucha brew to start that process, which I'll show here. We have a little jar of apple cider vinegar that we started using some of the brew from the kombucha.
Are you making your own apple cider vinegar then?
This is it.
I mean, you use your own. You don't buy.
I buy them too. This is kind of a side experiment.
Okay.
You know, I don't produce massive amount, but
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, let me turn this around. And just see what you're up to.
you're gonna lose your
I know.
thing.
Here we go.
Okay.
Right. And by the way, can somebody just tell us how the sound is? Because, oh dear. Okay, hold on, hold on. Oh God. There we go. I'm sorry guys, this is new equipment, trying to get used to it. Go ahead.
So this is a 1 gallon brew jar that we keep our main scoby and the brew in. And just like gardening, I do a very low maintenance style of kombucha brewing. So every few months I'll refill this if it evaporated too much. But I'll harvest some of, when I'm doing refill, I'll harvest some of the brew and keep it in a separate bottle to use it as a vinegar when I'm cooking or making salad and stuff like that. So you have probiotics in your salad.
So you can use that as in your salad dressing, just like
You
if
can
would
use it as is like a vinegar because
Okay.
it has that similar tartness.
Okay.
So what I usually do is each brew, to make enough to fill this jar, I use 2 packets of loose tea leaves that's in the bag. One is black tea and one is green tea, and that's just how I like it. This is not the matcha green tea, it's the regular green tea, the light color tea. So I'll have 2 bags of that, and then you'll have...
Can I ask a quick question? What is the connection with the tea? It seems like all the kombucha has tea, starts with tea.
Yes,
Am I right?
that's part of the brewing process, but you're asking me a question that I can't truly answer because I'm not an expert.
I understand, and I'm not expecting you to be. I was just wondering, does all kombucha have tea in it, or is it...
I believe so.
Basically...
The June kombucha and this regular kombucha all have tea in it.
Yeah, the ones I've seen in the store do, but I didn't know if those that you made for your tour, you had so many different fruit ones. Can you just make it from fruit?
So it's because you use this to make your main brew, and then you put it in a container like this, about half of it, and then the other half is kind of a sugary mixture with whatever fruit you want in it. So that is the base. This is the living culture you use to brew with other fruit and stuff to make that flavor.
Okay.
So all the kombucha mixture will have this main brew that is made from tea and sugar.
Okay. So you do get a little bit of caffeine from your kombucha.
A tiny bit.
Okay.
Depends on how much you use the main brew in your second fermentation, I believe.
Right. Nancy just said something about second ferment.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And to this 2 bags of tea, which is about 2 tablespoons of tea, you use 1 cup of sugar. And we use just regular raw sugar. And I usually put combination of the liquid together to be about 12 cups of liquid in here when it's finished. Okay. Because you'll want about 1 cup of the brew from the main jar. I use about 10 cups of just regular room temperature water and 2 cups of hot water for brewing the tea. So this is water we boiled earlier. So this is when we mix in the sugar. And we'll just let this brew for about 5 minutes. And try to stir so all the sugar dissolve.
How much water did you put in there, the hot water?
This is about 2 cups.
Okay.
Probably more like 1.5 cup.
Okay.
So the sugar is all dissolved. We'll let it brew for a couple minutes. In the meantime, we're gonna separate our SCOBY.
And I want to get a good look at this because I'm going to move this for a second. So is it just this thick thing? And you have to actually, oh,
this
wow.
is actually many, many layers from the whole, you know, 1.5 years that I have this jar. And this is how you can give away SCOBYs, because give away and share your SCOBY, because it just keep growing and growing, and this is, you know, accumulated, and I've given many SCOBYs away from this.
Wow. It's really thick and
And some people
I thought
actually
maybe it would just fall apart, but no.
Some people actually make jerky out of this. I'm not sure.
It smells like
they
vinegar.
Dehydrate. They
smells like
dehydrate
vinegar.
it.
Yeah.
So you can see how you can kind of separate. It's kind of a jelly.
Jamal, we are making kombucha from this is the mother or the SCOBY?
The SCOBY of the kombucha.
Of the kombucha, which is where you grow it. And Jack is going to be sharing a piece of her SCOBY with me to take along to Tennessee so that I can make my own. Thank you so much, Nancy. Says acronym for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Thank you so much. I'm glad we have our research team online today. She alerted me that she is not an expert. She just jumps in and tries a lot of things, and I have enjoyed everything she's ever made.
So I'm just going to put some of the brew into the jar that I'm giving Kaye to take. So
and
there's...
You were saying last night that the SCOBY is eating, this is the food that it eats on, right?
Yes, the mixture we're making right now, the sugar, the tea, and the water is what feeds the SCOBY.
But at this point, this smells very much like vinegar to me.
Exactly, and this is because I've just kept it and not really renew it for a very long time. For probably 2-3 months now, it's just been sitting there.
Oh, I see. So you're going to only leave a little bit for you, or you're not going to leave any for you?
I am that other.
Oh, this you're leaving
that
for
cup
you?
is to feed it back to the jar.
Got it.
So I'm just gonna put the new liquid in, and I'm gonna put this in, and the old SCOBY back in.
So Jamal and anybody else, she is preparing a takeaway for me, and then she's also replenishing her own stock.
So, and the handy thing with this jar is when I purchased it, it comes with this temperature chart here that will read the temperature of the jar, so you know if
you mean this thing is an active piece?
Yeah, it's an active piece that reads the current temperature. So we'll show you once we pour the warm liquid in, and it will tell us if we need to cool or heat up the liquid more before we put the SCOBY and the brew back in.
Because you don't want to kill.
Yeah, you don't want it too hot to kill the bacteria and the yeast.
Okay.
So now we're going to pour. I'm going to pour the room temperature water in first. You see my brew is a lot lighter because it's a mixture of half black tea and half green tea, and that's just kind of how I like the flavor.
So it really winds up being a probiotic flavored iced tea is what kombucha really is, right?
Kind of.
Is that what you describe it?
So you see how the temperature here has changed. earlier it was down here at the 72 degrees, and now it's 80 degrees,
I just
80 and
barely see
82
that.
degrees.
Yeah, it's kind of purple.
Yeah, so it's purple and green here, so it's in this range.
Okay.
So this is a perfect temperature for
Okay.
our kombucha. So what I'm gonna do is scoop some of this. So this is food for Kaye's kombucha on the road, so they have food to eat while she travels across the country.
Mary has joined us from Arkansas, and we are making kombucha. Jack is sharing part of her scoby, which is the mother of the yeast and bacteria culture that makes kombucha a living drink. And is that from that
This
finished?
is for you to take.
That is,
This is a finished travel size kombucha.
that's fantastic. Thank you. And then later I can put fruit juice in it, or no?
No, you have to do a second ferment. It's a whole other video, and
Okay. That's what Nancy was referring to, the second
yeah,
ferment.
you'll have to let it brew at least 2 to 3 weeks for this to really activate, fully activate, and then you can pour them in a separate container that you can trap carbonation in, because some people like to build a carbonation for that fizzy drink. So you put your kombucha brew from the main brew, about half of it or a quarter of it, and I usually either brew some more tea with sugar and add other fruit for flavoring, or even other tea for flavoring. Some people use dehydrated fruit, some people use fresh fruit. I like to use fresh cut up strawberries that brew very fast. Pineapple also brew very fast. And that's the second ferment to make the finished drink that you usually drink and purchase from the store.
Okay. Well, we will be doing some, hopefully by the time I get set up in Tennessee, I'll figure out how to share screens, and we can do some lives with Jack remotely from Arizona. That's my dream anyway.
So here's the finished main brew, and this will sit for three weeks before I pull the brew out to make those carbonated second brew drinks.
So it will make another thick kind of
Yeah,
layer
it will
in
form
there?
a new layer at the top, but this has all of the old ones that will continue to.
And what are you doing with
feed.
this one?
That usually go to our compost.
I see, because you don't want the whole jar to be full of it.
Yeah,
right?
Some people keep a whole jar of it. They have a separate jar of scoby, and they call it Scoby Hotel. So you have like layers and layers of scoby.
Oh, I see. But it's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
One piece like that is going to give you all
it will continue to make many, many more as you refresh the brew.
Okay, wonderful.
And that's
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so we're going to, are you going to, yeah, you're going to reset everything, right?
Yes.
To show us our other stuff.
Oh, just one quick thing.
Yes.
The apple cider.
Let me set this down for a second. Hold on. Okay.
The apple cider vinegar that I was mentioning earlier, using the old brew from the kombucha, is what I've started doing, because we also do juicing. And every time we cut up apples, you know, the core that we don't use for juicing, we put them in mason jars, and then we'll pour the kombucha brew in there, and then it will start making apple cider vinegar, which will have, you see the kombucha scoby here with the apple in there, so it has that flavor of apple cider vinegar. So that way you're not wasting that core, the apple core, when you juice.
Nancy just said something interesting. She said you can dehydrate SCOBY as dog treats.
Yes, I've heard of that, and I may start doing that for Zira and see if she's interested in that. So that's good reminder that I should try. So we're not just composting it.
Yeah. While she's setting, oop, I did it again. I know why that's happening. Hold on. That's my spasticity. Sorry. I can just, for those of you who are wondering about maybe doing a channel and what's involved. There's a lot involved doing a channel. You have to shoot really high quality videos and live streams, and you've got to do a great job of editing. The quality of editing in garden channels has grown astronomically since the beginning, which was about 2011, 2012. Well, I actually, when I started in 2012, I couldn't find another garden channel. They may have been around, but that's when the iPhone 4 was just introduced, and you could actually do a selfie. And what I didn't realize at the time, because they didn't bother to tell me when I bought the phone, was that the selfie side, when you're looking at yourself, because that's how we all started. We all started making these garden YouTube videos by looking at the screen, looking at ourselves like I'm doing right now. And then you know you're in frame, and you're not shooting like that with yourself off camera. So you know you're in frame, you can see yourself, but this side of the two cameras were separate cameras. Now, supposedly in these latest iPhones, I don't know about the Androids, the quality of the camera is as good on the selfie side as it is on the other side, because, I'm sure the iPhone companies, especially Apple, go, wait a minute, everybody's doing selfie stuff, so we got to make that selfie camera as high quality as the scenery. When they first made these cameras in phones, they thought everybody was just going to be shooting what they were looking at, but everybody turned this into an obsession of so anyway, when you get a microphone and you get a gimbal and all this stuff, this thing is actually on a very short tether into the camera so that she and I can have equal volume. And I'm hoping that you're happy with the sound so much more than when the first day I came, it was so bad and people were complaining. And so I rushed out to Best Buy and I invested a few $100s in equipment. And so we're trying to get used to it. And the whole question of connectivity, when I leave here, I don't know when I'm doing my live streams if I'll be able to have connectivity through the cellular system or depending on where I am, the Wi-Fi system. So Jack has got everything. Have you got everything together now? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So what are you actually going to do now? I probably need to turn around again. You going to make something?
No. Just presenting you with stuff.
Just presenting. Sharing. I'm going to turn it around so you can see what she's presenting me with.
Let the screen face us so we can see.
Oh. Do you want? You don't. I don't. Do I need to be in there?
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Because people are here to see you.
Oh no, they're not. They're here to see you. But anyway, by the way, let me just take a quick moment to plug the channel. I have noticed a lot of subscribers falling off. I know a lot of people's attention spans are on other things besides gardening, especially this week. So if you need to go, please go back to my button. Somebody wrote me and said, I haven't been getting your notifications, so please go back. Check to make sure that that subscribe button, the bell, is clicked on my channel. And scroll down, hold the browser down, and go down and click all, so you get notifications for all of my uploads and live streams. I decided while I was here that, and basically because of Nancy, our resident authority on so many things, Nancy is watching right now, and she said, Kay, just do live streams. You don't have time to edit on this trip, and I don't. I mean, I really don't. I don't want to. I want to spend time with friends and family and do live streams, and so hopefully I'm increasing the level of the quality of the live streams and you're enjoying them even more. So now Jack is going to show you what she is, but see, if I hold it like this, you won't be able to see all that.
I'll hold it up.
So you're going to hold it up?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Okay. So she's going to show.
Let's get
Want to
you
get back a
in
little
there.
farther? Oh, we're going to lift it up here, right? We can do it up here. And there you can see. Okay. Okie doke.
All right. So I'm sending Kay on her trip to her new home with a few things that we grow and made here.
I think this should just be on you. You're here.
So this is dehydrated butterfly pea flower. This is a very...
One second. Okay. I just want to look at comments while she's doing that, if anybody's asking.
So this is a very popular flower that is used in Southeast Asia and grown there in the tropical regions. The flower, once heated and brewed, release this blue, beautiful blue color.
Hold on a second. I want to ask Jamela, who has joined us from Trinidad and Tobago, if she grows this. So can you say the name of the flower again?
Blue butterfly pea.
Butterfly pea?
Yeah, butterfly pea flower.
Yeah, and you know, we really need to show them a fresh one.
Right.
Let me go get it. I'll get it. You stay here. Keep talking. I know where it is.
So the reason I want Kaye to have this is because it also is known to have anti-stress properties. So she can brew some of this on the trip while she's traveling to reduce some stress. And another fun fact with this blue tea is if you put a few drops of lemon or any kind of acid in it, I don't know if you can see, it turns purple, immediately turn purple with a drop of lemon juice.
These are the actual flowers, fresh flowers. And you can grow the vine on a trellis and it's absolutely stunning. And you said the bees love them, right?
Yes, the bees, the butterflies, the birds even love them. So I was telling them this is also have anti-stress properties. So it's good for your trip.
Good. So how am I going to drink that on the trip? Oh, well, I can make some cold. It'll still, does it have to be hot to be anti-stress?
You have to be hot to brew the properties out of the tea, and then you can make it into an iced tea.
All right. I'll just carry that jar into a cafe with me.
Yeah, they can give you some hot tea.
Hot water. Okay.
And then another thing we made here, last year we had a lot of citrus. We got lemon, we got tangelo, and we were gifted some of that kaffir lime or
Kefir?
Kefir lime. What's the proper word for it now?
I think they pronounce it kaffir.
Kaffir, but there's a different word because kaffir is like derogatory for certain cultures.
Oh, it is? Well, let's just say kefir then. I don't know. I didn't know that.
This jar of marmalade is made out of 3 or 4 different citruses, and it has that kaffir lime in it, which has a really fun flavor. And I recommend everybody, if you're making marmalade, feel free to just try mixing different citrus in there to get a lot of fun, different notes and flavors. So this is for Kaye to take on the road too.
That's awesome. And of course, she's going to be sending, later you can send me all the instructions and recipes and things like that.
Yes. And we haven't really take the time to find out. Another thing that I grow here is this is the blue Hungarian blue variety of bread poppy seed.
Bread poppy seed?
Yeah, this is the poppy seed
for bread.
For bread that you use for baking.
Mm-hmm.
They grow really well here, just like all the poppy flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And each of these is like a little packet of thousands of poppy seeds. So I'm giving her a whole jar of that to take so she can scatter and grow.
Did you say how you take it off and you get it out? And
so I don't take them out when I harvest them because they're just in such a neat packet. And
if you're going to do something in here, I'll move the camera. Are you going to open it up?
Open it up.
Okay, let's see. Hold on. I want you to see this because I haven't seen it either.
So to open it, you want to carefully remove the top. And I usually do this over a cup of warm water.
Under a cup of warm water.
Over a cup of, so you can dump it into the warm water.
You want the seeds to go into the warm water?
Yeah, because then you're kind of rinsing it because you can see how much of this brown material is being
I see.
scattered among the seeds, and you don't want that end up in your bread.
Right,
But if you pour,
but if it's in water, then
you can drain it
okay.
and scoop it out and put it in your dough.
Okay.
So let me go get a little bit of water so I can show you what I'm talking about.
Okay. That's interesting. I used to always make banana bread with poppy seed. I loved that. That's back when I ate bread. And you know, I decided when I have a kitchen again, I'm really going to start cooking. That meal last night, did you watch that live stream that we did with the, where she was making the, where she made the bechamel sauce for the Greek pasticcio? And oh my God, she first gave me a slab of that, about that big. And I thought, oh, I'll never be able to eat that. Oh, well, I ate that and I ate another big piece. It just melted in your mouth. It was fantastic. Okay, let's see what you're going to do here.
So usually I would already have a bowl of hot water underneath.
Oh, so all
when
the
I
brown
dump
stuff
it.
just sits on the surface.
Yeah, you see how
I see it.
all the stuff you don't want are on the surface that you can scoop out. And this is my preferred way of cleaning the seeds, because there's no way to avoid these brown plant material when you're cracking open the poppy seeds to harvest the seeds, the seed pods.
Nancy, have you got a better way to do this, or is this what you use too? Nancy was saying she grows poppy seed also.
And there's different species of poppy seed flowers. A lot of the ornamental ones, the red ones, they don't produce large enough seeds like these ones for baking.
Okay. And I wonder if Nancy grows poppy seed in Illinois, I can certainly do that in Tennessee.
Yes.
Daryl, do you grow poppy seed? I can ask Daryl, he's on. He's in Tennessee, he's close to where I'm going to live. Okay, here we go.
And one last thing that I'm going to send Kaye home is my homemade
This is so cool. You've got to see
herb
this.
stripper.
Okay, I talked over you. Say again what it is.
Herb stripper.
Okay.
And there's commercial ones that they sell out there on Amazon and different kitchen gadget stores. But my husband and I are starting a kind of a maker's handmade company called J2D Makes. And this is one of the things that I hand make and will be selling on the store. But this is a thyme that we just harvest. I want to show you how this works. It will strip.
Make sure they can see that. Let's see. Get the light on it. There you go. Can you see how the light is on it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
there
but
you
they won't be able to see how it collects.
Okay.
Whoops.
Oh, it dropped.
Yeah. So preferably you do this over a bowl.
Over a bowl. Over a bowl,
your,
so it all doesn't
your
wind
chopping
up.
board.
That's
but
right.
that was an easy way to strip all the little tiny leaves from your thyme. And the bigger holes here.
Rob says that sure saves time.
Yeah. Because I used to have to pick every single one, you know. And then there's bigger holes here for stripping things like kale. Whoops. That was not a very good example. That's why you have different holes, different size holes to do this.
I can't
See
tell
how
you how
you-
much time I've spent cutting. I don't know if red chard would work as well as
Red chard may not work as well. You do want something that's a little woody and hold its form. If it's so I harvested the older type of thyme. There's the really young shoots out there that's growing on the plant. They will probably break when you go through the hole. So you want the woody stuff, but usually if you buy herbs from the store, they are the woody kind. So
Yeah.
so there you go. This is a little herb stripper for Kaye.
So did we finish the seeds? So now they're sitting in water, and what do you do
Right.
with that?
So I'll drain the water and scoop out the seed and just put it in the dough.
Okay. Nancy says she has her seeds in a jar if she hasn't washed them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can wash them at any time.
Right. I just prefer to store them in a little their own little seed pod, so when I give them away, it's easy, just a seed pod, and that's thousands of seeds to
That's
somebody.
Right. That's right. To me. So let's see, we've been on for 9:29. We've already been on for half an hour. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in for the live streams. I don't think we'll have another one today because you're working for the rest of the day, right? Mm-hmm. And unless I decide to do something myself, because I have to pack my car. And another thing that we haven't decided for sure is what plants I'm going to be taking. Jack seems to think that I should just take everything that I have because she has most of what I have. So we may just prune the calamandin so it fits in the car better, and I'm hoping that once I repack my car, I left California very quickly, and it was night, and we were all just exhausted, and we just shoved everything into the car. So I'm hoping that when I really carefully pack my car, then I'll have, because she's now added more things for me to take. And we went shopping yesterday, and I had to replenish my cat food supply. And you know, my cat has eaten raw frozen food for her entire 15 years until this trip, and I didn't want to feed her processed food because of allergies. My son's had allergies, and I read this book, The Finicky Owner's Guide to Cats, or something like that. Okay, Rob, I'll ask. I'm not sure. But what was I saying? The frozen. I read this book when I first got this cat because my son Walker had developed asthma when he was young, which was very strange. But he had asthma, and so getting a pet was a real question mark. And so I read this book called The Finicky Guide to Cats, or having a cat. And one of the things they said was the more raw the diet, the less allergies that people would have. There's less dander they make and the less allergies. I don't know if that's true. I just know that my son's really never had a problem with Lyndon. And so she's always been on this frozen food, which is low batch, small batch cat food producer locally in Santa Monica. And so on this trip, I had to just go to source. I'm trying to find organic, but can't always find organic pet food. So I'm trying to find good quality. So I found these little cans that have flip top, and I thought that's the best because I can just flip a top. If I had to, she could eat right out of the can. So I'm just trying to think, about travel and long trip and all of that stuff. So now I've got more stuff to put in my car, so you may or may not see me packing my car. If anybody would like to see me try to pack my car in a live stream before I go, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you'll recheck your subscribe button and make sure you're subscribed, and like my live streams and videos, and catch up on some of my older videos if you have a chance, and help my channel grow during this huge transition I'm going through. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next live stream. Hopefully tomorrow at 9, or no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're not doing one at 9 o'clock. I'll do one at 9 o'clock. I can do one at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll pack my car tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And if you want to tune in for that, that would be great. Because 9 o'clock, yeah, that's still in shade over there, right? So that's what I'll do. We'll do a live stream. I'll do a live stream in the morning, but she has to work. So thank you so much for joining. And I hope you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and see the fabulous food that she made last night. I posted all those pictures. So we'll see you next time. Bye.